Welcome to the podcast ever.
Hey, Lois.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? It's Michael. Welcome to the show.
I like how you didn't change your voice.
What am I supposed to change it to?
I mean, no, I'm not going to go into that. If they know, they know. If they don't, well, whatever. Anyway, we are back from last week's explosive episode. I don't remember what we talked about last week, but it was probably explosive, I bet. Yeah.
Drivers?
You remember that. Huh?
Drivers?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, that doesn't really matter. Anyway, yeah, we're back. So what's new?
I've been taking brain. I should have said I'd been getting brain.
You
That would have sounded more
funnier.
impressive. It would have been impressive. But I've been getting brain only today. But that won't end because I've been taking brain pills. But not just any brain pills. These are animal brain pills. They take the brains of animals and they put them in a pill. And I am taking them now. And guess what? Pretty soon, I'm also going to be having testicle.
Wait, they're in a pill?
Oh, it's a gelatin capsule.
I thought it was like... So when they say desiccated, I thought that means like they're like dried out and like...
Yes. But you thought it was one of those like tablets. Because these are desiccated organs. You thought they dried them out and put them in the form of a tablet?
No, I didn't think they were in any form. I thought they were like just kind of like chunks of meat.
Wow. No, I think that would taste weird. Especially you seeing as some of its brain. You really want to taste brain straight up?
It probably doesn't taste like much of anything. There's not a lot of fat there, is there?
Maybe if it was cooked, I'd taste it straight up. I don't know if I'd want to taste a dried out version of it. Maybe a jerky. I'd try a brain jerky.
That's what I thought it was, basically.
Hold on. Before that, let me explain what these are. These are organs that are dried out, I believe freeze-dried, because if you dehydrate them, it's going to take out a lot of the, I think it's
nutrients.
Yeah, exactly. And so then they're kind of like crushed up into a fine powder and placed in gelatin capsules for my consumption. And now I am eating them with my meals. And I'll report back on what I get from that. The testicles are supposed to make you hard as a rock. I mean, I already... just to not to brag, but I don't really need them. But hey, it says your performance in the gym is supposed to go up too. So if anything, I'm helping myself even more. Hopefully, I get that insane Sam Sulek physique, except for natural instead of just completely pumped up on roids.
Not familiar with who that is.
He's like this newer bodybuilder guy. It's like, have you seen that one where it's like the silhouette of the guy kind of like flexing both arms, and then I think he might actually do the one to the side, like raised arm, and then like flex on one. You've seen that, right? In the Instagram comments, they're always posting that GIF.
No, I very rarely go in the comments unless it's something political.
Okay, but the Instagram comments are always great, and they've been using the N-word so much recently.
Okay, no, I do go in there on occasion when it's not political, but my point is it's not common that I go in there.
It's interesting that they're using it so much. Like, it feels like you won't see this on TikTok. I actually saw videos where they compare Instagram to TikTok. The Instagram comments, like the TikTok ones are kind of normal. The Instagram ones are full of the N-word, full of it. I mean, like, soft A. It's not like anything
right.
insane. It still aligns with the guidelines. It's just everybody saying it. And it doesn't matter what the video is. It could be a normal person just doing some like stupid shit, or maybe even doing something that's like, actually good, decent, like somebody working out, or somebody just like, some kid, and they're like, good job, little N-word, okay. Probably
I had heard from another like creator that I follow, because the game is you upload on YouTube, you upload on TikTok, that kind of stuff, to like maximize your viewer base. And they were talking about how like TikTok is really strict on that kind of stuff, which is weird because they're a Chinese company, so you think they wouldn't really care, or did it become an American company? I didn't really follow that.
Yeah, well, no, they're still Chinese, but they're like, no, they black. Exactly. So you'd think that like maybe they'd be okay, but if anything, they still got to make money. And the advertisers don't like that word.
People, what are people going to not use? Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, there you go. That's the problem.
Oh, wait, is Instagram suffering then?
I think, TikTok has a higher level of scrutiny when it comes to that stuff. Like, they just want to make sure that they are not fucking up with their money at all. Like, in any way, they really just want to be the most I mean, technically they're not. I don't know if I'd say they're the most advertiser safe platform, but technically they kind of are. Like they make themselves out to be like that. Very filtered, but it's
I
still
would
brain
not call
rot.
their content filtered.
No, it's very brain rot, but it's still filtered.
Oh,
If you
okay, that's actually a
if
good question I wanted to talk on,
you
but
pass
go
soy
on.
through a sieve, I mean, it's still going to be soy. You're just taking all the crap that's not soy out of it, but it's still soy at the end of the day.
Is that how you pronounce that? I thought it was sieve.
Well, how do you spell it?
I don't
Well, there
know.
you go.
I
Okay,
would
so what were you going to
assume
ask about?
Sithe.
Sithe?
That's what it
No,
sounds like.
I thought it was V. It's like Sieve, right? Yeah,
Okay, yeah. I looked it
I was
up and I
right.
got. Did you mean scythe?
Huh?
So
No.
wait, S what?
Sieve. Well, it
Sieve?
is Civ. The guy's
See, no, that does look like it says sieve.
but I thought Sieve, but the guy's saying Civ.
Wait, it's sieve or sift,
No, it's Civ.
but it's spelled sift.
No, there's no T at the end.
Listen, so I'm looking at the. I'm assuming this is Wikipedia. It says, sieve. I'm gonna pronounce it like that, so you know the SIEVE spelling. Fine mesh strainer or sift, SIFT, is a device for separating wanted elements from unwanted material or for controlling the particle size distribution of a sample using. Okay, well, I don't really need to read the
Well, I
whole thing,
always
but you
thought
get the point.
sift. I thought sift was just the verb. That that's the action.
Oh
I
yeah,
never thought of
sift
it as the
out the
word
stuff.
for it.
I guess it's both.
Well, anyway, we're retards. It makes sense. But what were you going to say? That you've been wondering about TikTok content and soy or
Oh
something?
yeah, because we were in that one online talking place, and somebody brought up how wow, this is really
No,
charged.
this
I'm
is
gonna have
getting
to
a
like
little too
walk on
broad. What are you
eggshells.
even talking about?
Listen. So he brought up the whole because you said, "Oh, TikTok's going to brain rot," and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it is, but that's not because of TikTok. It's because of what's on TikTok."
Oh, I see. That was a conversation just today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but TikTok isn't the brain rot itself. If anything, no, I would say to an extent, like social media, like it's not the technology of social media itself, but these companies that are running it definitely push the algorithm in ways that do make it more, make it more brain rot for people to use. Like even Facebook has been found to literally make their algorithms like test depression on people, like test to see if they can make people depressed.
Why?
Because they're evil. I don't know. Well,
What the fuck?
but look, the thing is, they definitely have incentives to do so just because these are like massive entities that don't really face much competition because of barriers to entry in the market. So therefore, if they want to mess around and make people depressed, well, more power to them, apparently. But I'm just saying that's what they do. And so TikTok, I'm saying it's brain rot because those Chinese, your phone linging, they're definitely making it so that, it doesn't even have to do with intentional brain rot. There are people that are saying it's some sort of psychological warfare. And maybe, I mean, if it's run by the Chinese government, then I can get that. But, it's probably more so just trying to like make as much money as possible.
I would assume so, but the thing with my thing is always people say it the way they say it. It's almost like because of the content or because the content is on this platform, therefore it's brain rotting, as opposed to it being the content itself, which is retarded. Can I say that? Well, I said it.
I
All
said
right.
it.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, it's essentially gamified to make it so that brain rot content rises while the good content isn't necessarily what's advanced on the platform.
Now, one would ask, what is brain rot content? And I mean, since we're on this topic, we might as well just double down on it. So, how are you defining that exactly?
I guess lack of educational, I guess, quality. Maybe if it's entertainment, it's still not entertainment that is very, I guess, stimulating for the mind. I would say it all comes down to whether it's like stimulating for your brain in the sense of like it provides some sort of value when it comes to what you think about day to day. and how your brain operates, rather than just getting you to look at more of it and kind of just be mindless when you're doing so.
So would you count memes under that?
Well, I think there are plenty of memes that actually get you to think, and they're very well thought out memes. That I mean, I think if anything, it's its own art form. So I don't necessarily think that memes inherently are like that. I think there could be like literal brain rot memes, but those are usually like the Facebook mom kind of stuff,
Okay.
or like
I don't
maybe
disagree.
maybe like some stupid ones that just maybe if there's no sort of value added to them when it comes to like layers of irony or anything that's like kind of well thought out, like the original version of like, let's say, Ugandan Knuckles or like Skibbity Toilet, like stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that actually because I saw a meme on Instagram the other day where it's like me getting upset about the skibbity toilet, but then knowing that I did the same thing with Ugandan Knuckles.
That's why I brought
I
it up.
didn't. I did not do that. I was not
Yeah,
one of those guys.
I didn't
I
like
thought it was
Ugandan
stupid.
Knuckles. Ugandan Knuckles was stupid, and Skibbity Toilet's stupid too. But the thing is, Skibbity, the word Skibbity has a layer of irony to it now, to the point where I actually kind of find the word funny. I don't find the Skibbity Toilets funny; those things are stupid. But the word Skibbity itself has some sort of meaning to me now that I've seen it so much on Instagram and seen it in these song parodies and like all these stupid things about it. Like, have made it so that if I start saying it, then I actually may make myself laugh.
When I hear skibbity, I think of that one video, I guess, of that one SpongeBob episode where robot crabs runs into the chum bucket and blows up, and then the sound effect is skibbity bop bop like that. So
I saw
that's
this.
why I think it's funny.
I saw
But
this
it's not the
video.
skibbity toilet. The
Yeah,
skibbity toilet is stupid. It's just the sound skibbity does bring back memories of laughter.
I saw this video where it was like this kid getting a shot, like a vaccine, and as they're putting it in him, he just starts yelling like "Skibbity pop pop pop, yes!" And people were saying like there were people like the vaccine gave him autism, or like they're curing his autism.
Instant autism.
Yeah, exactly. Just
But
from the shot, it goes straight in.
I could see what you mean with that. I guess it does depend on the meme and whatnot. Because then you could argue if you're just saying it's not stimulating and you're not like clarifying properly, you could say, oh well, isn't it like every Hollywood movie that comes out every summer not stimulating to some extent?
I'll tell you what's not stimulating and what's like literal brain rot. Just those videos where they have like these like balls where they'll like cut them open and then they'll like just spray the goo out of them, or like they'll like poke holes in a bag and just like spray like or like squeeze the actual like sludge that's in it out of it. Like those kind of videos, or like the 5 minute crafts ones that aren't actually like good crafts. They're like just these like over excessive like stupid things. Like originally it wasn't parodied, but before it was like when you put ramen inside of a door and started like scraping over it and then painting over that, or like you make a walkway in your yard. This guy was literally doing it where he'd like fill up bags with like this like dirt concrete solution, put them in the plastic bags on top of his lawn, and then light the plastic on fire to have like stone set there. Which I guess that's not the worst one, but it's like still pretty like bad. It's like you really could figure that out in another way.
Why would you be burning plastic? That's like the worst thing you could possibly do.
Well, the guy was foreign.
Oh,
Yeah, he was like some Asian, some form of
you
Asian.
would think that would be like universally known, though.
No, not when you're like Indian or, Southeast Asian, Not really. Have you seen those videos of like
Jesus. Of what?
the Indian street food? Like the ones where they're like showing how they prepare that stuff,
Yeah.
like they're like cutting the meat with their toenails, and they're like stepping on like the bread with their feet bare on the
See,
concrete too.
there is somewhat of a precedent for that because I was watching I don't know if it was like a YouTube video or a documentary I found when I still watched TV or something like that. But I was looking up Georgian wine, not like the state Georgia, but the country. And there's like it's like an old tradition where you stomp the grapes with your
Right.
feet. So I was like, oh, I mean, I guess that's fine, I guess, because I would
Well,
assume.
but they're not smashing the grapes like on concrete on the ground where they usually step. I'm sure these are in like
No,
baskets.
yeah, they're
They
not.
probably wash their feet beforehand. I don't know about these Indians. I can't say whether or not. But if I were to guess, if I were a guessing man, if I were a betting man, would I really be putting my money on the yes? Well, I don't know about that.
I would not.
Yeah, it's not really the intelligent move to make there. So
But
what was I
yeah.
saying about testicles earlier?
Oh, right. You're
I was
eating
going to
them.
say something. No, I was going to say something other than that. I forgot. It had to do with the pills, like the way they're made. Like, because I was talking about how they desiccate them.
Oh, right. Because I thought they were literally just essentially like beef jerky type things.
Yeah.
But then
Oh,
you're
I
like saying
remember.
no,
I
they're
remember.
pills.
So I was talking about jerky. You know, I've tried some interesting jerkies in my time. I mean, maybe not a lot, but just a few. Like I've tried kangaroo jerky from this like exotic jerky store. I think yeah, I showed you that, didn't I?
You could have let me try some.
Well, I didn't buy it in front of you. The kangaroo jerky.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm thinking of
Yeah.
what, the bison jerky?
Yeah, I bought like some bison or something. You criticized it for having like the smallest bit of garlic in it. It was like less than 2%.
Oh yeah, I do remember that now.
Yeah. That's when our boy rizzed up some women at the beach. You know, that's actually a pretty good story. We were telling him, you know, you gotta, well, first of all, this guy, he was dating this woman at the time. And so, you
Oh
know,
my god.
right, I need to tell this. I need to tell this because this is incredible. This is
Wait.
just insane.
Well, no, yeah,
Yes.
go on.
Yes. So, you know, on the nightly excursions, you know, there are very many women out there that are very available, right? And
I
so I
believe
was
the
with this
adjective
guy.
used was snowing.
Yeah, it was literally snowing. I mean, this was crazy. And you know, so the thing is, I was with my friend and you know, it was just me and him there sitting down at this moment and I was telling him like, you know, so, you know, you want to like talk to some women like you and me, like we go up both and he's like, "No, I'm trying to stay loyal." He's talking about his girlfriend. And I'm like, "Dude, okay, it's not like you have to commit. I'm just saying, you know, you and I both go. You don't really have to commit to anything." He's like, "No, man, I'm trying to stay loyal." And guess what happens? One night that we were there, they're literally this like group that waves over to us. And I'm like, "Dude, we have to go." And he's like, "No, man, you know me, I'm trying to
How
stay
many?
loyal." It had to be like 4 or 5. 4 or 5, man. And so,
This is
you
when I
know,
was in the
well,
bathroom,
I'm
right?
not, yes, you were in the bathroom. I'm not saying these were
God damn it.
the absolute best looking, but they were actually pretty good. Like they were, well, I don't know. I mean, they weren't bad, right? They weren't like the
I remember
10s.
them looking decent.
They weren't like the 9 or 10s. Well, I'm saying these ones in particular. They weren't like the 9s or 10s, but they weren't bad.
They're
These
like
were like
7.
still some of the decent ones. Yeah. Like these were like average or above average, like in the group. I'd say there were some that were better than others. But anyway, point being, we were wave 2. And my friend's like, "Nah, you know, man, I'm trying to stay loyal. I'm trying to stay loyal." I'm like, "Dude, come on. Really?" Anyway, time passes. It's over. You know, it's so over. Whatever. And so we were at the beach one day. This was like, I think probably a couple, maybe the next day
Ooh,
or the
the
day
day
after.
after, yeah.
It probably was. That makes it funnier, right? So we were at the beach and we're like, this is when I got the jerky and like I was coming back. And I think we were saying like, "Hey man, you know, you should show us like, you know, how your game, you know, your Riz." And so basically he's like,
He had
"Nah, man."
been bragging about his game too.
Yeah, that is true. He was bragging about how good his game was. So I was like, "Okay, yeah, show us." But you can't get like some girl's Instagram. He's like, "All right, well, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know." And I'm like, "Well, how about those girls over there?" There were like some girls taking photos. And he's like, all right. So he goes over after some hesitation and he starts talking to him. And he tells him like he's going to take their photo. We're just watching him. I don't know exactly what he's saying, but he's like going to take their photos. He takes some photos for them. And basically they just start talking. He's like, "Oh, I need like, you know, the credits just as long as y'all credit me on Instagram." And like, I think, look, it justified my use of the word y'all. I know you said you don't like that, but like he uses that word. He uses that word.
He does.
And so basically, I think it was one of the girls that was taking the photos. Like they exchanged like Instagrams, or at least he gave her his, right? Because he's like, "I want the photo credits." But she was saying she had like a boyfriend and everything. But he's like, "No, you know, it's just for the photo credits. Doesn't mean anything." After we were walking away, she like followed him like immediately. And he was just talking about, I was like, "Well, you know, she might hit me up, you know." Well, was it that him saying that he might hit her up even after man, I got to stay loyal. You know, was he saying he would do anything with it?
I don't remember. I remember he said, it was something like, because we were in the car going back, and as we were in the car, he said she followed me back. Now I don't remember if that was the same girl or if it was the other girl that was there, because we were like waiting. Okay, we'll see if this happens, and it did happen.
Right.
But I don't remember the details.
Now I'm just saying that night before, that was a huge L. I mean, come on, you know,
You
I
guys
really
could have,
reflect on that.
like for my sake at least. Like I come out of the bathroom, I get a nice surprise.
Yeah. Well, pause. But
Well, hold on. Yeah. The context is there though.
Yeah, no, we have the context. It's just out of context. That's strange. But yeah, Yeah. Anyway, it was fumbled. Bag was fumbled. Nothing you can do about it. It's over. It's over. It's gone. It's done. But yeah, no, I just felt like that had to be said because honestly, that was crazy. The amount of times he said, "Bro, I have to stay loyal," like just to even, say anything, even talk to women, even look in their
Several
direction.
times over 2 days.
Yeah,
And at
it
the
was
same time,
crazy.
he was still saying, "Oh, I got game, bro. I can do whatever I want." But then he'll say, "Well, I'm not gonna show you guys. I gotta stay loyal." It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not to really rag on this guy or anything.
We should have
And
him
not
on.
yeah, we should. He's a funny guy. He's a good guy. Maybe if we have him on, are we going to say who it is? If we have him on, we're going to be like, this is the guy.
I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I would assume yes, because you'd want to connect him to like past anecdotes,
Yeah,
but whatever.
right. So your name here is Gorgery.
Correct.
See, at first I read it as Goregory, but I think it's Gorgery.
It could go either way, really.
What does it mean?
Um. Well, as I was saying, I guess you didn't catch that because I accidentally kicked you from the stream for a second as I was explaining. I was in the process of making this recording to set up to invite you and all that, and I was making my little like visual for my voice. And as you know, I got to make a name for myself, and I'm in the practice of doing variations of Gregory, as our loyal fans probably know, or not loyal fans, whichever. And I was misspelling Gregory with the intention of using a different variation on Gregory, which I'll not reveal now because I can save it for later. But I misspelled it, and it came out as Gorgery. And then I thought, you know what? This kind of works because what you could say is Gorgery is like an edgier version of Gregory, like a death metal like Gore Gregory, but Gorgery because
You should
Gore
start that a band.
Gorgery.
Yeah.
That's not bad. It's also like it's also if you're a real nerd, the Lord of the Rings like language of I think the orcs or whatever is. Or wait, am I getting that wrong? Gorgoroth. That's a band too. It's something to do with Lord of the Rings. But anyway, and it's like something dark or whatever. Either way, it's like an edgier version. But when I was typing it, the first thing I read was Gregory. But then you came in and said Gorgery, and I was like, oh, okay, that works too.
Yeah.
So it could
So
be either way.
what's the deal with guys dating single moms? I had to mention it. I like how you laughed at that. It's a good. There is no segue. There is no segue into it. It just came to mind for a specific reason.
Really? You don't want to. All right. All right.
Our age too. I'm saying like younger. Like not even in their mid-20s. Maybe like around their mid-20s. Maybe almost. Maybe around there. Young 20s.
So wait, you're saying the people that are doing it are in our age?
Yes, but the moms,
Now,
they're older.
see, but I was gonna say you're seeing more of it within that age range.
Oh, more motherhood.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm not saying like
Yeah.
it's more younger mothers than it is older mothers. Obviously, it's going to be older, but I've been noticing more people like straight out of high school or like in like college range or age or whatever. They're like, "Oh, I'm looking for something serious. You gotta love kids, whatever." And I'm like, "Bro, you just got out of high school. What the hell did you do?"
Well, prom night, man. It's not
There are
prom night. It's
so
just
many
it's just all
ways
day
to
every day.
avoid that, though. There are so many ways.
No, just had to happen.
I was watching a show and they say, I like how every topic we talk about ends up going to race somehow. But anyway, I was watching the show and they were talking about how like you probably know the show I'm talking about, but I'm gonna leave it anonymous. They're talking about like, yo, bro, Puerto Ricans, they get pregnant like easy. And part of it is like a cultural thing because like they don't believe in abortion and stuff like that, which I'm not gonna touch on in any way, shape, or form. But the end result is that they tend to have a lot more kids than other people within the age range and that gender, I guess. But yeah, Apparently, because like they had like a show and they were like asking like people that were on the show, oh, do you have a kid? And yes, I do have a kid, and they always ended up being Puerto Rican. And I'm like, bro, this is a problem because I'm gonna be honest, Puerto Rican women are pretty nice, they're pretty great, but I mean, I don't have money for a kid. I
Finally
mean,
getting to using that.
I think if anything, that's a W. Because even if I did have money, I'd still be saying I don't have money for a kid. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Well, I was just, it was more of a womp womp, for the Puerto Rican women getting pregnant in the first place.
No, yeah, that's true.
That's a womp
I mean, not to say
womp.
there's anything wrong with being a mother, but like,
I thought you were going to say
time it.
Muslim.
Aw.
It sounded like you were going there.
Do they? They don't. Well, yeah, they don't really do that. Well, that depends. I hear in Morocco they're pretty open.
Like gay,
No, not like that. I mean, like,
like
I used to like.
Destiny.
You ever went on like the Snapchat maps?
Yeah.
Yeah, every time. Now, to be fair, this is a biased gene pool because the people that would have Snapchat in countries like that would probably be the more Western leaning anyway. But
True.
every time I'd go around like the Middle East area, even if like in Saudi Arabia and stuff like that, you'd see like people, with dripped out watches, cars, and then you see women at like clubs and stuff like that. And first of all, I didn't even know they had clubs over there, but they do apparently, and
This
they'll
is
be
news to me.
drinking and doing like hookah and stuff like that. And they're not like covered up or anything. They're like their hair's out. They're like wearing like Western clothes. Like I mean, they're not like I guess like the way women dress at like clubs here. I guess where some of them just look really like some of them look like prostitutes. I'm just gonna be honest, but like,
Some.
uh, it's not all of them, but it is a good like chunk of them. But like they don't look like that, but they do look like if I were someone from Saudi Arabia and I took the book literally, I would be very inclined to pick up a stone and do things with it in her
Like the guy in
direction.
Orlando.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that wasn't
Apparently
a
what I
stone.
heard is that he didn't even know it was a gay club. Apparently.
What?
Yeah,
So,
apparently he just thought it was some nightclub or something.
so he didn't even know it was like. Wait, hold on. Was it a
Well, I
gay
don't know
club
if
or was it a gay strip club?
no, it was like a gay club, like drinking.
That makes more sense. Or
But
wait, no,
I
that
don't know
makes
if
less
it
sense
I
because
don't
I
know if
thought it
it's
was a gay
like
strip club.
no, but I don't know if it's like he went on accident and then that's what did it, or if
He's like,
he well, I'm just saying like maybe like did he find out once he got there or like did he just not even know the whole time?
he goes into a club and he's like, oh shoot, well, I already have my weapon, so might as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, is it just the club in general pissed him off? Like, maybe he didn't know it was one of those clubs, but he saw two guys kissing and that got him upset enough?
He was intending to have a nice night out by himself and pick up some ladies, and then he didn't see many ladies, and he saw a bunch of guys doing what other guys would do with ladies, and then he was like, that's it, and he just happened to have his weapon with him.
Nah, he just went up to one and it's like, oh, you're a nice lady. It's like, no, I lady boy. Have you seen those Instagram memes?
I've seen them.
Dude,
No, I'm lady boy. No,
yeah,
you're
there's one,
beautiful.
yeah, there's one where a guy like he asks, like, are you a lady or a lady boy? And she's like, no, lady, lady. He's like, you mind if I check? And like he literally goes to grab it, and he's like, what's that? And then she just laughs about it, and then he's like, hell no.
Yo. So they're lying about it.
Why would you lie about that though if you're
I
already
thought
gonna
the whole appeal was that it wasn't what you thought.
huh?
I thought the whole appeal was the fact that like it looks like a woman, but it's not.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I'm wondering. So it's
So
like,
why would you lie about that?
right. Well, isn't that putting you in danger? Because you're gonna get your ass beat or
In
worse.
Thailand? I don't know. I don't think they care. It doesn't
Well,
seem
I'm
like
saying
it.
if
I could be
if a guy
entirely wrong.
doesn't know and he actually cares, well, a tourist.
Yeah, but like Thailand's one of those like countries where it's kind of woe to the customer. You kind of have to just know because they,
Hmm.
they still have like a king. I'm pretty sure.
A king.
Yeah,
Do they have a
it's like a
queen?
monarchy. Uh
Is it
I
actually a queen or is it a second king?
oh, I see what you mean. I don't know.
No, it's
Maybe he
RuPaul.
tricked everybody. Because I like when it comes to that kind of stuff, those kind of countries are very like nationalistic. So I would imagine like if it's a lady boy, but it's a Thai lady boy, and it's like I don't know, like a British tourist or whatever, and he gets pissed off and like attacks the lady boy, then the king would be like, yeah, this is our country, this is how it works. So you're gonna get punished for aggressing on this person,
Yeah.
rather than it being like, oh, you didn't know, okay, well, he should be. This is weird. You know what I mean, though.
Huh?
As opposed to the king being like, "Oh no, I see what you mean. You got tricked." As opposed to him just being like, "Oh, you should have known, and this is also my country. So
Yeah.
why are you attacking?"
But the punishment is just death, you're saying?
I don't know. It's one of those countries. It's like Japan, I think, where they're like Western uh friendly, sort of, but they kind of just do what they want too. Because like like the whole stereotype of like a Japanese prison.
Yeah.
And like how Japan has like a was it like 96% conviction rate?
Damn.
It's something like that, 96, 99, one of those numbers. But yeah,
Yeah.
they don't really play with like crimes like that. So yeah, I
Man.
don't know about death, but I would not assume it's off the table.
You ever see a Japanese girl and you're like, well, you don't even look Japanese?
No,
No,
I've
you can
gotten pretty
always
good
tell.
at telling.
Really?
I can tell. So it's easier to tell a Japanese person from like all the rest than it is between those.
No, I saw a Japanese girl online and I was like, that she doesn't look Japanese.
But what did
No,
she look like?
I know. Well, I don't know. Maybe a little.
She
I don't know
still
if I
looked
would say.
Asian though,
Yeah, yeah. I
but
think it
not
might have been.
Japanese.
I think it might have been because of a mix.
See, that's kind of a different story though. That's where it gets rough.
But I saw some other girl that I didn't know the ethnicity, but I'm like, definitely has to be Vietnamese. I mean, I can
Oh,
tell. I can
you
tell.
can tell.
The Vietnamese, I can tell. It's the
See,
face
but
shape. It's the eye shape. It's all round.
They all kind of have round faces.
Well, the face is round, but for the Vietnamese, they have this thing where their eyes kind of like aren't like slit like looking. They're like slit looking, but they're like still rounded.
What?
It's weird, you know. Maybe I shouldn't be
It's like
talking
one
about
of
them
the.
like this.
I mean, you're not saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the definite features that these people have as is. Like, to say that they don't have these features, if anything, am I not being, racist if I do that? If I just pretend they all look the same?
Yeah, I think that would make you racist if anything.
Exactly. I don't want to be a bigot.
Do you have like an example you can show?
I have to look them up first.
Fair. I always had issues distinguishing between those, like the Vietnamese and the Chinese, and the Thai. They tend to look a little darker, in my experience. So that it's kind of easier, but the other three, like Koreans, Chinese, and Koreans, kind of are easy to tell because for whatever reason they look like their skin looks paler. You know what I
Wait,
mean?
which one?
The Koreans.
Yeah.
I know some of them actually like bleach their skin, but those are like the K-pop stars and all that. I mean, like normal people.
Well, I'm going through Google hell trying to find an example, but I can't tell what I'm looking at anymore.
You lost your gauge.
I know there's just too much of it on one screen. It's like kind of like those captchas that fuck up the robots. Like I feel like one of those right now. I don't
Like
know which one's a truck, I don't know which photo's a truck or which one's a bird. I've lost my ability.
Some of them are rough.
Yeah. No. And the thing with the captchas, right? Like sometimes they're like identify the motorcycle and then like a little bit of the handle is in one of the images and I feel inclined to click that.
Yeah, that's always what gets me. I'm like, okay,
right.
This is part of the motorcycle, but it's not like it's mostly not motorcycle. So do I include that?
Or? Apparently no. I've just started not doing it and it works. When I don't click the little like edge part that may be part of the image, no, just ignore it.
I do it anyway and it lets me in. So it doesn't seem
It
like there's like
doesn't
an
let me
actual
in,
like
so I've been ignoring it
real.
now, and it lets me in.
This is not a consistent system.
I don't know what it's based on. I think, is it almost like they have like hit boxes and you just have to guess whether the hit box is in that box too or not?
Maybe
That's what I'm thinking.
like playing like a video game. Oh shit! You hit his shoulder visually, but it was outside of his hitbox.
All right, let's give the guys some advice, all right, that are listening to the show. What are some jobs that you could work that don't make you want to jump out of the window and splat on the concrete?
Wow. Okay. I didn't know I was getting like a test here. Because I'm gonna be honest, I can't think of any. Like, are you talking about like temporary, or do you
Yeah,
mean
no, we're
like
talking
long
about
term?
temporary. No. Well,
Okay.
we can do both. We can start with temporary and then we can do long term.
I think. I was gonna say like entrepreneurial, like not even entrepreneurial, but like you're part of a company, like
Mm-hmm.
Coca-Cola or something like that. But then I thought, no, that could easily get really awful really quickly, depending on how high or how low you are in the company.
Yeah. Well, are you talking about like a factory worker or like a
No,
like
I
a
meant like,
corporate?
well, I guess both.
You're saying either one's fine for the time being?
No, I'm saying either one could potentially be like awful.
No, I think both would.
Yeah, because even if you're like you're a CEO, it's not like you gotta make sure appearances are the way it is. You gotta make sure that the sales are staying up. And if somebody doesn't do something right, you gotta fire them. And then if you gotta get somebody else to do it, and you gotta make sure they're doing the right job the same way, it just no, that's a headache.
Yeah. So I guess short term that would be all right. Not
I'm
working
thinking
at
about like
Walmart.
my experience at this point.
Not
Walmart,
working
I
at
think I'd
Walmart.
rather kill myself than go to Walmart, even as a customer.
Yeah. As a customer.
Yeah.
It's like gun to your head. It's like, which one do you choose? Do you walk into this Walmart even for 5 minutes, or like do you just let us kill you? It's like, just kill me.
Yeah, just end it. You know, it reminds me. My buddy was telling me, uh, he was like coming to pick me up because we were gonna hang out. He was telling me about like how he saw somebody die on a highway because
Holy
they
shit,
were
where's this
explaining it.
coming from?
Hold on, it's gonna connect. He was explaining it, and I'm gonna be honest. He either wasn't explaining it very well, or I was just kind of not paying attention as much as I should have been. Anyways, the guy like basically flew off the road and then like slammed into a tree. So he was like, "Yeah, that guy's dead." Now, if I was given the choice of that or going to a Walmart, I think I would take that guy. I'd be in his place.
I couldn't help but laugh at the guy's situation.
I mean, I would imagine it would be something so like, whoa, I can't believe I just saw that you would have to laugh.
Yeah.
It's like when you first find like somebody sends you like a live leak video or something like that, and you're not expecting gore, but then you see it, you're like, oh my god, and you're like nervous laughter.
Was he wearing a seatbelt?
No, you know what's funny? They brought it up because I was getting in their car and their seatbelts suck ass, so I had to like wrestle it out of like the little like place where the seat meets the door or like the
Mm-hmm.
exterior, and it didn't even like say it was like a noodle. It was just kind of like it wasn't tightening at all, and I'm like, oh, seatbelts are kind of dumb anyway. And he's like, oh well, tell that to the guy we just saw, and then they explained it.
They just saw that?
Yeah, like as they were coming to my house.
Wait, but like they saw it in real life?
Yeah, they saw it.
Wow. So they
They
saw it
they,
take
they
place right before this.
Yeah, they prefaced it with like, yeah, we just saw somebody die today. And then they're like, after they saw it, they're like, yeah, we decided after we saw that we're good. We don't need to rush anymore
Wow.
because they're like running late for something. But
Yeah, well, I thought you meant the rush is in like, risking your life on purpose, or like
I
being very
mean,
risky when driving,
I
just for
always
the
need that
thrill of
rush.
it. Just for the thrill of it.
Have you ever driven like 40 over the speed limit?
Yes.
It's nice. It's a nice feeling.
Yes, it is.
You know, when
Especially
I
when you're
was
passing
first
cars
getting
doing it.
into driving and all that, I was always of the impression like, oh, I'm not gonna be stupid. I'm not gonna drive fast and do that. I just need to get from point A to point B. And then once I was in a car and I went not even that high, like maybe I just revved it up for like maybe 5 minutes or so, and I was like, this is good. I can see why people do this.
I mean, technically I did it today, just not even thinking.
Wow. But you felt the rush.
A little bit. I mean, I was just, the rush is really looking in your rear end mirror just to make sure there's no police around. That's the
I
rush.
find they don't really care.
No, they do.
Well, it depends on if you're going like a lot faster than everybody else. Because
depends on the
where
road.
I
Yes,
am,
that too.
where I am, everybody goes like 20 over, and people just are kind of like, whatever, that's how it is. But if you go 20 over, the people going 20 over, then it's an issue.
See, the thing is, there's that, but then I've heard people getting pulled over for nothing, like for no speed, like barely going over the speed limit.
I thought you could go like 5 over.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like 10 to 15, even on like an interstate. On an interstate.
Interstate?
Yes.
What?
I heard somebody got pulled over on an interstate for going like 15 over.
I think they just needed to like get like their quota.
Yeah, I think it's that. And isn't that usually at the end of the month?
Yeah.
So just don't go fast at the end of the month. There you go. Free game.
Not exactly the game we were supposed to give, but
we're still working on that. We're still working on these jobs. Now, Walmart is clearly not it. What about Target?
No. Target is better Walmart.
Yeah. So you would be able to live through this or no?
I knew somebody online. I was in a Discord server where the owner, his girlfriend, said she worked at Target, and she said, I think she said verbatim, "I want to kill myself." So I don't know. I would have thought Target would be fine, for at least for temporary, but after hearing that, I was like, okay, I guess I'm not doing that.
I heard Aldi's paying pretty good.
I like Aldi's. They have good prices.
It's paying, like, I saw some signs saying like 23 an hour starting pay.
No way.
I'm for real. But I don't know that they'd give you full time. It'd be like part time. But still, 23 an hour for part time is basically like the pay of a full time job, just without the benefits.
That's insane.
I'm serious. I saw it. Look it up. Look up to see if you can find it, because I've seen signs saying that. I mean, I've seen it in the past few months, like a few times here and there, but they're definitely hiring for good prices, or for a good wage, I suppose, compared to other places.
Huh.
Imagine you become a manager. Like, I couldn't imagine, how much they're paying them.
I actually looked into Aldi's because that's usually where I end up shopping. Partially just to avoid Walmart. And also because I'm not in like the area where all the how do I say this lightly? Expected customers of like a Sprouts or something would be.
You seen that video where it's the black guy going into the Sprouts and the Whole Foods?
Yeah.
Like, look at all the white folks. They're so peaceful. Look at their children. I love white folks.
Yeah, but if you walk in there, or wait, no, maybe I'm thinking of Whole Foods. I think they're the same thing anyway. Everything's like super overpriced.
Look, man, I bought from Sprouts every I think it was a half gallon or something, or like along those lines of like kefir, raw kefir. That's the only place I can get it. It's like $10 for one jug, and I bought like 6 of them last time I went.
$10?
$10 a jug. I mean, they lasted a while.
$60 on kefir.
Yeah, and it lasted me over a month. It was like probably 6 weeks or something like that.
How big are the jugs?
Well, I'm saying they're like probably somewhere from like probably like a half gallon or something, or
you didn't
a little bit less.
I
think it was a little bit less than a half gallon. Yeah, I stretched it out that much. I mean, I drank like half a glass a day. And it lasted me a while.
I always get upset when my glass is half empty.
But it's half full of kefir.
I knew you were going to bring this up. Nah, like I don't drink tea. And I'm feeling just a little bit under the weather. So, usually what people say is, oh, you got to drink hot tea, you got to drink coffee or whatever, because, the hot liquid supposedly helps you with your ailment, which, whether it does or not, isn't really the point. But
why couldn't you just warm up milk?
I did try that, and then I posted it in like a chat I was in, and everybody said, no, don't do that, bro. Just drink it regularly.
No, fuck those people.
Listen. They have a point. It did not taste as great as if it was cold.
You could put sugar in it, and then it's like a cocoa almost.
Yeah, but then also, if I heat it up, am I not also killing even more of the nutrients?
I don't think it's that bad.
All right, well, I'll try it after we're done recording this then.
Yeah.
So what I did instead
in that, John.
I mean, I usually do.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
I
Heat
actually
it up.
don't drink
I
milk
tried it.
without maple
It's good.
syrup.
It's like a cocoa.
Really?
Well, it's like a
Now,
maple,
are you
drink,
putting the
but
maple
still,
syrup in and then heating it up, or putting it in after you heat it up?
I put it in before. I mixed it in and then heated it
Mm.
up.
Are you adding cream?
I added half and half.
All right.
I don't have
I was gonna
cream.
say
It's hard to
I
find good
don't.
cream.
No, yeah, that's true. I just kind of suck it up and deal with it.
Pause.
I don't drink milk out unless I have cream, honey, and maple syrup in it. Like I tried drinking like regular milk just straight up the other day, and it was not the same. I couldn't do it. Like I could do it, like it's milk, it's fine, but it's like there's so much missing where I was like, this isn't it.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
So
anyway,
I
what
guess
I did
Aldi.
instead,
Oh, I thought we were still doing something here with the stores. I guess you had
I'm
something
having
going on
a
as a
side
tangent.
tangent.
Yeah,
Yes,
my
my
bad.
tangent. So what I did was, I don't even know how I got to this actually, but anyway, I got a glass of water, hot water, and I poured like a decent amount of honey in it, and I mix it up, and since it's hot, it mixes easier, and it tasted really great.
Yeah, that actually is a pretty good solution to not have to drink the fucking tea.
Yeah, I hate tea.
There you go. You
Listen
fixed
up,
your problem. You
people.
could put
Tea
some
makes
lemon.
you.
You could put some lemon in it too.
Yeah, basically what I had was essentially like a simple syrup, but using honey instead of sugar.
Yeah, well, that's good. If you want lemon, and then you don't have to. You still don't have to have the tea experience, but it gives you that nice citrus.
I don't think it's a coincidence that tea is commonly seen as like a female, like a feminine thing, and then it
Yeah.
also does that
Well,
to you.
depends on the country.
If you're British, I think you are. How did we rip on the British already? Or did we
I don't
already
even
burn
think
that
we
bridge?
have.
Do you want to burn it
No.
now?
Didn't we rip on Queen Elizabeth?
Well, no, we ripped on her for eating beans on toast, and
Yeah.
that I don't care who you are, you can't defend that.
Yeah. Okay, so
I
I
was
mean,
just
go
going to
ahead
say
with
that.
the.
You know
I
what?
thought you were going to
Yeah, I'm
say
going to go
British
ahead and do
comment.
it. Yeah. The British drinking tea, it's not good.
Okay.
And I mean, if anything, I'm helping them because on a medical standpoint, tea is not great for you.
Tell them why not.
I don't remember the exact details, but basically, it messes with your hormones and
There
like
you go.
feminizes you essentially.
Femboys drunk
Now,
up.
I'm not sure if it's strictly a male thing or if it goes like both ways, or if a female drinks it, she's becoming masculinated. Is that or whatever the term would
No,
be?
because I isn't it disrupting the androgens, but that's like only really relevant to
Right,
men.
right. Because we were talking to that one person we know, and she was saying, "Oh, I could still drink tea because I'm a woman."
Yeah, but it just
Yeah,
lowers your testosterone if you're a guy.
yeah. You don't want that. You already got a
No,
lot of stuff doing that.
eat testicles. If you've had years of drinking tea, just eat a fucking testicle and get it over with, and you'll feel all better. You'll feel manly again. You'll have your life back. You'll have your, you've killed your erections over time. You'll have them back. They'll be harder than ever. You'll feel like you're just coming into college again.
The strongest of pauses necessary.
Well, I'm just saying that's how you'll feel. Beyond me, to say whether that's a good thing for you or not. I'm just saying that's how you're gonna feel.
No, I mean you just kind of came out of it with. I mean, we have the context, but out of context, just eat testicle. It's like, really, it's like that's a pause.
Well, look, I'm gonna eat testicle soon in like a week when it comes to me.
You already order it.
I'm about to soon.
How long does it take
I already
to
have
get
the
there?
brain. I already have the brain. I'm just saying I'm probably not going to get it right away. I'll have it in like a week. It's not that it takes a long time to get there. It's just by the time I get it, it's just probably just going to be like a week from now. Can you believe it, guys?
A week to get it.
It's Christmas. Just a week away. It actually is.
It is. Oh,
yeah.
not even like 5 days.
Less than
6
a week.
days.
Less than a week. But by the time this episode gets up, isn't it going to be after Christmas?
Yeah, it will be.
Is it going to be a few days after Christmas?
Hold on.
Or is it going to be beginning of January?
It might be beginning of January.
Okay, that's probably it. Okay, well, Merry Christmas, everybody. I don't even think we said that on the show. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year's.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Three Kings Day.
Oh, he's got the deep cuts.
Exactly. Well, Three Kings Day hasn't even happened yet if this episode releases on time. So, looking forward to a good Three Kings Day. Happy Three Kings Day, guys. Happy.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even say Merry for that, do you? You just say happy.
Happy what?
Three Kings Day.
Yeah, Merry Three Kings Day sounds like it works. But okay. I don't ever hear anybody say it.
How do you feel about John Lennon's song, War is Over?
What?
The Christmas song. It's War is Over is in the title. It's like the Christmas. So this is Christmas.
I thought it was called So This Is Christmas.
I thought it's like War is Over is like in the parentheses. So I remember it as that.
Hold on, let me look it up. It's the one
Happy
of like
Xmas, Happy Xmas, Happy Xmas parentheses War is Over.
Oh yeah, it is. It's the one with like the children in the background, right?
Yeah.
I liked it as a kid. Now I hate it because I hate John Lennon.
See, I don't like John Lennon, but that song specifically I still like.
That's rough.
I know. It's unfortunate. It reminds me of Christmas. It also reminds me of the snail.
What?
The snail that you live forever, and I don't remember how much money you get, but you live forever and you're immortal. The snail's immortal too. It follows you around, and once you and the snail touch, because the snail's always trying to get you, you die the most horrendous death possible.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You've never seen that with the snail wager?
What?
Dude, so there was this meme, and it's like, would you rather? I'm going to have to look it up because we're going to have to actually get this right. Snail.
Snail?
Yes, the immortal snail. I'm surprised you haven't heard of this. Let's see. I think this is the original. I'm not sure if it is. Let's see. I don't think this is the original. I mean, this is the Goon Dude posted this 8 years ago on Reddit. I don't know if this is it only has 48 upvotes, so I couldn't imagine this being the original, but this might eventually be, or this might as well be what it is. Would you rather take $10 million to have a deadly snail slowly follow you for the rest of your life, or continue life as normal? Some clarification. If the snail touches you or anything on you, i.e. clothes, you instantly die. The snail is constantly following you at a normal snail pace. The snail is invincible and cannot be blocked by any barrier meant to block it, so you can't surround yourself in a circle of fire to avoid him. He will get through it. The snail knows where you are at all times, so it can make the most logical path to get to you, including transportation. You cannot track the location of the snail via GPS.
Do you know what it looks like?
Well, it's just a snail, so you have to avoid snails. But this one says for the rest of your life, but
would you be able to encounter it in like escargot, or is that off limits because it's like dead?
No, because it's immortal. Hold on, I need to find the one to see if it's like you're immortal as well, because in that one you're not immortal. Let's see. So on August 26, 2014, episode number 285 of the Rooster Teeth podcast was released, in which hosts Gus Soroya, Gavin Free, Matt Hulam, and Bernie Burns discuss a hypothetical scenario in which a person receives $10 million in exchange for having a snail follow them wherever they go for the rest of their life that will kill them upon being touched, shown below. Yeah, so, well, I mean, I think it evolved eventually into actually literally becoming immortal, because, at some point people were like, would you rather have the money and be immortal? But the snail's immortal as well, and it follows you. Let's see. So there's actually this meme right here. And wait, if this is what I think, yes, this is it. I can just show you why I think of the snail. Hold on. I'm going to show you right now. We're going to see this. Let's see. So now that you know the context of the snail, it's actually going to help that we can be on this page, so you can get a visual representation of what's happening, right?
Shoot. There we go.
So me and the snail, billions of years in the future, as the dying sun closes in on the earth.
And what have we done? Another year over, and the new one just begun.
Yeah, hopefully we don't get copyrighted for that use of music. It was only like
it's like deep enough. We're good.
Yeah, well, I suppose, point being,
that's from Battlefield 1, isn't it?
You can cut out a few seconds if need be. If you upload it pre-upload and it shows that there's a copyright check saying it's copyrighted, well, you can just take out a few seconds. But
I'll just tell YouTube that John Lennon beat his wife, and therefore it'll be fine.
Yeah, let's do that. But see, it reminds me of that. I actually like the song, and I think this like cemented it for me. You know, seeing this meme over and over throughout the years kind of gave me like a nostalgic feeling. Like, you know, this literally is Christmas for me. Like this song encapsulates it, honestly. So, well, beyond that, look, we've gotten really off topic from the jobs. And
hold on.
I don't know if you even finished did you even finish what you were talking about with British people or something?
I think so. We talked about the tea.
Okay. So do you have anything else before we get into it?
Yes.
Okay. We're never getting to it, are we?
We're going to get to it.
Okay.
Even if this goes on for 3 hours, we're going to get to it.
Okay. Go ahead.
I am of the opinion that the only good Christmas songs are those from like the 30s, 40s, 50s crooners. You know, like it's the holiday season, like that, like the Sinatra stuff. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Oh,
those,
incredible! That's a classic.
Those are bona fide. I don't even want to say hood classics because it just like degenerates the grandeur of it. But yeah, those are great Christmas songs. Anything after that, it becomes stale. Like the unknown, the not unknown, the indestructible, always approaching, almost like the snail. Actually, if you work in retail, because you know it's coming.
Oh yeah,
and there's nothing you can do about it. The Mariah Carey Christmas song.
See, I'm kind of neutral on that.
I loathe it.
I
will say,
I'm on the slightly dislike, but I'm not on the hate.
I despise it. You've worked retail. How did you get past that? What the fuck?
Just don't work during the Christmas season.
I had to. What the fuck?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You just stop working. You know what?
I should have quit once it became Christmas. Is what
are you gonna get? Yes. Are you gonna get upset if I say that the Paul McCartney song is not actually that bad?
Which one?
Isn't that the one he does? Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Okay. How you feel about the John Lennon song is how I feel about the Paul McCartney song.
Really? So you like it?
Also, Paul McCartney isn't as bad as John Lennon, I don't think.
But you like the song?
Yeah, that's good.
Wow, okay.
I like his solo stuff.
I actually like
I hate
that.
the Beatles, but I like his solo stuff.
Well, see, that's the thing. Me too. I feel that exact way. I don't like the Beatles either, but Paul McCartney as an individual actually makes decent music.
Yeah, the other one I was listening to is recently Silly Love Songs. That one's nice.
Okay.
You think the world is full of silly love, something like that. Yeah. Okay. It's got like a nice disco instrumental going on. I was gonna say something. I totally forgot about it though.
Now let's forget about that. Retail versus food service. Which one makes you want to die more?
Oh wait, now I remember what I was gonna say.
Oh my god.
The exception to the rule of my Christmas parameters, except for the Paul McCartney song, which also is an exception, is the what do they call that band? The one of George Michael.
Big Time Rush.
Wham. The Last Christmas song. The original. The original's nice. It's got a nice synth line.
Oh yeah. No, you're right.
Like when I was working retail, I'd hear Mariah Carey and I'd want to blow my brains out. I'd actually go in the back room and start slamming my head against the shelves and thinking, I can do it. I can do it right now. There's no one that would care. No one would stop me. Once it's done, it's done. But then I'd hear the synth lines of Last Christmas and I'd be like, no, this is nice. I like this.
No, I like it.
You know, it's weird too. When I was in retail, they were playing this one. Do you know who Cascade is?
I don't think so.
Well, you know Deadmau5, right?
Yeah.
He's like the best friend and or best collaborator of Deadmau5, and they're from like the same area, like period, I should say. And they make roughly the same kind of music, except Deadmau5 is a bit more like edgy, and his stuff is more like synth heavy, almost like trance, like real melodic kind of stuff. But anyway, they were playing this one song during the Christmas season when I was working in retail, and it had like a house beat, and I was like, whoa, what the hell is this? This is great. Why is this a Christmas song? And I Shazammed it one time when I was at work, and it was a Cascade song, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. I didn't even know you could make a dance song for Christmas.
You have to send that. Right, but you have to send that in our chat.
I gotta find it again because I totally forgot what it was. But it should be pretty easy to find now that I know who it is. But yeah, it was good. And I'd hear it and I'd be like, damn, I actually kind of want to be here now. This is a great song. But anyway, yeah.
Retail
So
or
what
food
was
service, which makes you want to blow your brains out more thinking of working
now?
in.
Are we including all levels of food service?
I was thinking primarily be a server at a restaurant styled, like not fancy, but between, okay, it can be anywhere from, I'll give you a range, from McDonald's worker to like a server at like a Red Robin, something like that, or like a diner.
Let me tell you, bro. I don't know. I don't know if maybe I'm just really healthy in that regard. When I went to Red Robin's, they always had the nicest looking waitresses. I don't know about you. Like it was like to a point where it's like, damn, like it's noticeable. It's not like, oh, hey, that waitress at, God forbid I find myself in Chili's. That waitress at Chili's, she looks all right. But no, it was like shit. Every time I'm at Red Robin's, I see like 4 of them, and I'm like, shit, this is like uncanny. This doesn't need to be here. But I mean, I'm not complaining. But yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
so you're not going above like chain level then.
Right. Yeah.
No, were you gonna say something about that, by the way?
I was just going to say, I really haven't been to that many. I only recall really going once, and I don't think I disagree from if my memory serves correct, but it's been so long that I really just, I don't know. I'd have to go back. But I don't know if I want to eat the food. I just want to go to see the waitresses.
I will say, before I started caring about what I was eating, Red Robin's was like my top burger place, besides maybe Five Guys. But yeah, they do put a lot of bread on there, though. I always get upset when the bread to meat ratio is off.
They say Red Robin, yum. So
they
there
do.
you go.
And they have like cool alt stuff on the wall, like guitars and basses and stuff. For no reason.
So what were you saying before?
Yeah, so you're not going up to like above chain levels then.
No. What would above be?
Do you know about the steakhouse around here?
I don't specifically
don't
know
name
which
drop
one you're
it.
talking about. I don't specifically know which one you're talking about.
There's like a famous one around here, but it's a steakhouse, and it's like it's like pretty expensive too.
I might know, actually. I think I might know. I don't think we've ever said it to each other, but I think I heard it from somebody.
I put it in the
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, so you're not talking about stuff like that then?
No.
Okay, because that would probably be fine to work at.
I don't know exactly what it's like. I just know somebody told me about it.
Does a place like the place that we always go to count? Like where you sit down and it's like a buffet, but it's not a buffet?
Yeah, that could count.
Okay. So anything in that range or retail?
Retail, right. And retail's pretty standard. You know what you're getting.
And retail include commissions?
What kind of
like
place?
If I work at like a
mattress
Best
store?
Buy. I know Best Buy does commissions.
Okay.
Music stores, they do commissions, stuff like that.
Then sure, if it's that kind of commission, or like a mattress store or something like furniture, like that kind of stuff. Yeah, those kind of commissions, yes.
As opposed to what?
Well, I don't know if you were thinking some sort of like sales job or something. Like, because that could still technically be retail.
Retail is sales, no?
Well, I'm thinking like sales is in like your main job isn't to like, you're not cashing people out or anything like that. Like you're literally just trying to sell people something without cashing them out or being like doing what the standard job is.
I'm confused now.
Well, like, wouldn't it count if you're like one of those people standing around selling the internet service or like, stuff like that? Or like doing like brand, like marketing, like, being in like what is it? Like associate, what is it called? I forgot. It's like brand representation thing.
Yeah, I don't know. My standard was if retail is if you're in a brick and mortar store and you're getting paid hourly plus potentially commission on whatever you sell.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
And that would be like, you're selling goods mainly.
Oh, I remember. Brand ambassador is what I meant.
Isn't that just like being like an Instagram person?
No, not necessarily. You could be like a brand ambassador within a store that has like a stand that you stand behind and you're like trying to sell people on something. They allow you to be there. Or like you're like one of those people that like tries to get people to sign up for some internet or something.
So you're saying that it does count or doesn't count?
I was saying no, because I think that sounds like too incentivized to actually sell stuff, like compared to even the ones that get commission aren't necessarily as motivated.
Okay, so that doesn't count. Fair.
Right. So I'm trying to like separate the ones that just get some pay on top and those that like literally depend on the payment. And so like they're always trying to sell people and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good distinction, actually. I get it now. I feel like the potential commission would make the retail more bearable.
But you get tips if you're a server.
Ooh, that's true. See, but we have a cap on that.
True.
But I suppose if you have like a really large like table that you're going for, then that could multiply pretty quickly.
But you got to split the tips too.
And you're talking like strictly server, not like cooking.
Well, I mean, if you were to work like in a fast food, maybe the third option for just fast food versus server.
Because I would have maybe not a different answer, but I would appraise being a server very differently from being in the kitchen.
Right. And if you're talking about fast food job where they have you like switching between cashier and like cook and all that, or like even just putting stuff in fryers, I think that might be the worst of any of them.
I'm inclined to agree, yeah.
So if anything, I think we could just rule that out and just kind of go like server versus like retail with commissions. We can kind of just go one-on-one with these.
See, it also sucks if you're not a woman.
Yes.
Because
I mean, maybe not the sales one, right? Not as much.
That one might actually depend too, because some people will buy something if a woman's like attractive enough, and they'll be like, "Oh, like, oh shit, I can't say that. Never mind."
She'll put out.
Like,
she'll put out if I just spend more money.
But like with a server, it's much more. I mean, everybody knows. Come on, you're gonna you see a pretty face or whatever. You're more likely to give a larger tip than if it's just some dude.
Yeah. Have you seen the Trump clip where it's like, I've seen a lot of good guys quit right before, they would have won big, and this is like kind of like a gambling one, like where they're putting a gambling caption over it, but it's like Trump actually saying something. He's like, but they gave up right before the moment that they could have succeeded. It's a shame.
Yeah. He's saying the meme.
Yeah. Well, he actually posted like this video, like, because there was this video going around when it's like, when my mom asked me if I drink, and it's like, I can honestly say I've never had a beer in my life. Okay. I can never say I've had a glass of liquor. And so he actually reposted that with the caption on it. That's like, when my mom asks me if I drink, on his Instagram.
He's on Instagram?
Yeah, he's on Instagram.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, he just posts memes there all the time.
Presidential
I assume
memes.
There's probably people on his like staff that do it, maybe, but he probably does it himself too. Maybe sometimes.
It's like that one meme of me when I'm talking to my friend about anything. It's like Alex Jones, like, I got a meme here. Come on.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, that's news to me. I'll have to see what he's posting. But yeah, I'm leaning towards server.
Okay. So,
well, no, wait.
You're saying it's better than retail to be a server? I don't know. The retail is just
so soul crushing,
but it sounds cushier.
Yeah. Now, if you're at a place that's like a chain and you're a bartender at like a Fridays or something like that, that could be really great for you, especially if you're a woman. Yeah.
Well, we're guys, so.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
We kind of got to think about it from that perspective. We're not. I bet there aren't even that many women listening, if at all, to this show.
Well, hold on. We know a bartender, and he definitely makes a lot of money.
But we're talking about a chain. We're not talking about like a club where it's
that's still true.
Because we're not talking about like the nightlife. We're talking about a restaurant.
I don't mind getting a commission for selling things, but I also hate having to be on my toes to sell things.
Well, if you're a server, don't you have to do that too?
Not really.
I mean, you kind of.
Nobody's ever sold me anything as a server. It's like, have you tried our specials? Have you looked at this, that, and the other? Oh, okay. That's
you have
like
to be
all
constantly
it is.
Attending to people to get to work for your tip.
You bring food over to a table.
Well, you have to come back for water and say, "How's everything going, guys?"
I hate when they do that.
Well,
like, even like, I get it because maybe somebody ran out of water, maybe somebody needs some sauce,
somebody needs another drink, and that's when it's most relatable.
Always ask right as your mouth is full.
Pause.
Okay, listen. Every time I'm like at a restaurant or something like that, and we just got our food, and it's like a burger or whatever it is, it's a steak. I'm chewing as the waitress comes over, and she's like, "Is everything good over here?" And I have to just kind of do like the like thing from SpongeBob, and it's annoying. Or if I actually do need something, I need to wait for myself to finish chewing, swallow, and then ask for what I want.
That would suck if you're eating a steak.
It's happened when I was eating a steak.
Yeah. Well, what if you're getting drinks and you want another one? Wouldn't it be good to have a server that's coming back and asking?
Maybe we should just like bring back bells.
Yeah, honestly, and maybe there should just be a button.
That's what I'm saying.
Just push the button and the server sees like the server sees a little light, saying like, okay, well, I should go back to that table.
I think I was in a Japanese restaurant and they had something like that.
Okay, well, the Japanese are clearly getting it right here. Now, have the Koreans
kind of
do
are.
that instead. Have the Koreans do that instead, and then I'm okay.
You're saying you want a Korean to do that instead?
Well, I'm saying, the Koreans should be adopting something like that.
They tend to do that, actually.
Yeah.
They kind of just copy the Japanese and a lot of.
I'm saying do it.
I might have just started a race war.
Do it. Yeah. Why not? But you're saying the Koreans are better, even though they copy the Japanese.
I'm saying on level of attraction, I find more attractive Koreans than I find more attractive than attractive Japanese women.
Well, I thought you thought, like since they're the way that they're more Western is better.
Yeah, that too, but that kind of depends because that's a case by case basis, sort of.
And again, the Japanese, is there the same work ethic in Korea where they're jumping out of windows all the time? I mean, I only hear that about Japan.
I think they do, but I think it's like less.
Oh, see? Well, less is better.
That's a standard. We ran some numbers and we only had 50% of our staff killing themselves every other month, as opposed to 75. We're doing great, guys. I like the improvement. Keep at it. Jeffrey, I don't want to see you anywhere near that window. Okay? Thank you.
What would you say the country is that has the absolute best working conditions and environment and all that in the world? It's not the US.
It's not.
It's probably somewhere in Europe.
So you're including like social preferences too?
What do you mean by social preferences?
I'm trying to say it without saying it. Like, let's say I go into a public area and I see something that I don't entirely like that.
Oh, yeah, I see. So,
including that?
It depends on if you think that is worth the trade-off for worse work environment. Like, would you rather suffer more in your job than see that every once in a while passing and have to say nothing about it?
I think I would.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's say then, what is your most preferred place to work? Like not place, like location, but like country.
I don't know if I could say the top one right now.
Why? Is it Russia?
Yeah, probably.
You think they have the best work environment?
I mean, listen. I only know from an outsider's point of view, but like, it doesn't look like that bad. And their economy's like recovered like a ton despite all the stuff. And they're totally cut off from like the whole, I'm going to have to get political. They're cut off from like everything else. So they kind of just do what they want, which is like the ultimate individualist thing. I know it's not actually, but like, it's close enough. The other place I would say is maybe like, well, I don't know about now because I don't really trust that guy. I was going to say Argentina.
Well, is it actually a good working place? Like, do you know about what do you know either place, like what the working would be like there? Like how it would be?
None the slightest. I just like beef.
Well, I guess that's fair. If Argentina does recover economically, and it probably will, I mean, I don't see why not. It's got beef, it's got babes, and what else could you need?
Yeah, and I'm not opposed to learning Spanish. I already have like a decent head start.
I already know enough.
Okay. Flexing.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Okay, I'm not perfect. There are times where it's like somebody can get really like
I'm only human.
Right. After all, there are times where it's like somebody may get too deep in a conversation where I'm kind of like, okay, well, my limit is at a certain point that, somebody may exceed, but I can get used to it pretty quick. And I'm very adaptable since I already have like the foundation like pretty well built. So honestly, if I just live there for like a few months, like I'd be fine. Perfectly fine.
I find I'm better at speaking it when I'm drunk.
Me too.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm on the same level as you, but just don't have the confidence to try it as much as you.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd say.
Oh, okay. All right. I see. Well, no, because I remember one time you said, "Hey, we should start like talking in Spanish so that way people won't hear what we're saying." And somebody else actually told me the same exact thing, but
I want to tell that story.
Huh?
I want to tell that story.
Go ahead, take the reins.
It was at the gym. And there was this blonde chick with a fatty, I'm talking.
Oh, you're talking.
Wow. I mean, seriously insane. But, point being, I was saying something about women. And so I was all like, la rubia, behind us, basically, is what I was saying. Like, atrás de nosotros, like la rubia, And so I was like, yeah, that blonde behind us. And you were like, what? And I was like, that, her. And you're like, what? So basically, I was just trying to call attention to the fact that this blonde chick had a nice dumper.
You were not saying
insane. It was insane.
Rubia the way I was used to hearing it. So I had no idea what the fuck you were saying.
It was insane.
Listen, bro. Listen.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying it.
No, I know what you're saying. Listen. You have not seen the one that I was talking about.
I don't care.
Bro, it will make you forget about everything else.
No, there's nothing that's going to make me forget. Bro, that image is burned in my mind. It's been months and that image is in my mind. It's still there. I can still see it.
I don't even remember what she looked like.
I can still see it in my mind. I remember her from the back. I don't remember her from the front. I'm serious.
I'm telling you, bro. Whatever it was, what I've seen, what I've experienced, what my travels have brought to me, it can't compare. I've never seen anything like it, to the point where I'm like, is that real? And I'm not even sure, to be honest.
They're real. And they're spectacular.
What is that from?
Seinfeld.
Yeah. What's the deal with
fake tits?
You should have done that.
I mean, when you clench them, they don't feel real.
But when you look at them, no, they don't look real.
They don't look real either. So what's the point? Observational humor, yes. Now, go ahead.
It shouldn't be that funny, because I've heard somebody break it down in the show saying, "Oh, your observation humor," because they're like taking a jab at Seinfeld, but like it works. It really works. I don't know how. Maybe it's a voice.
I mean, somewhat, but also, you're not always thinking about it. So like when it is brought up, it's funny because maybe you think about it at times, but it's never really been like conversed about. It's never really been something that you thought other people may think about. So to hear someone else express it to you, and it like pretty much encapsulates what you've been thinking about it as well. It like the relatability of it is the comedy.
Yeah, that's true. That's it. Actually, you could bring this all the way around, because that's what the mainstream internet humor is, relatable type stuff.
Right.
That time when I did XY thing, and then it becomes even more meta, where it's like implying it's relatable, but it's something entirely unrelatable.
There is something to be said about the humor that is found within recognition of something, because, maybe you see a meme and you don't get it, and you probably don't even laugh at it. But if you see it again and again and again, and altered, and like, there's witty humor made about that thing, even if you don't exactly get the thing in the first place, it may start to become funny to you.
That has happened to me. I saw a meme, but I had no idea what the hell they were talking about. But I saw it enough times, and the fact that I didn't know what it was talking about, and that I saw it so many times, made it funny.
Yeah, I mean, and while I'm saying the creative application of different jokes implemented into it as well, sort of adds layers to it.
We're actually explaining comedy now.
Exactly, and that's what this is all about.
You didn't answer, by the way.
Answer what?
Or did you? Retail or
Oh, honestly, I really haven't tried the server aspect of it.
I haven't either, so I'm guessing.
I think I might be just better built for retail.
Built
But
different.
honestly, if we're talking about like, bartender, then I think honestly that would be the best.
That's what I was thinking.
It sounds good. I don't know if it's that good, but it sounds good.
Like, obviously, we're still talking about within the confines of like a restaurant, right?
Restaurant, yeah.
Yeah. So you're not going to be getting the same kind of money as if you were like a bartender at a club or whatever.
It could be a pub.
But
it could be a pub. Pub is okay.
Pub is basically just a restaurant.
Yeah, I know. As long as they serve food, but it could be mainly about the bartending,
Right. I like the one place we go to.
Right. Nice place.
Yeah. Yeah, I had like 3 different thoughts at once, and I didn't know what to go with. I guess I'll say it quickly. You know that guy's quitting, right? I told you. Did you ever get talk to him?
I heard from somebody else that we know that is from there that apparently he wasn't.
He deliberately said he wasn't, or was it like you brought it up to him and he said no, he's not?
Well, because he sent me something saying he's still there, and this was like after we had been to that pub, and he's like, the bartender is there or something. I'm like, oh, somebody told me he was quitting. He's like, that's not true. And I'm like, what do you mean? How do you know? He's like, well, I don't know if he said he didn't or if I could pull it up. Hold on, let me see if I still have those messages.
Because I remember when we were there, I think he said that was his last week or something like that.
Maybe he was taking a vacation.
No, because I remember he said, "Oh, other person quit, and I can't deal with it without her, so I'm quitting," or
Maybe
something
they hired
like that.
Somebody else.
They hired someone that was hot, and he's like, "All right, shit."
No, I don't have the messages anymore. Yeah, maybe they hired a hot chick, and the bartender guy was just like, you know what, I'm okay with this. I can.
Would you do
here.
that?
If there was a hot chick hired and I was thinking about quitting.
Yeah.
Well, if it helps me with the workload, I mean, obviously the work environment is better for me, like at that point I feel better about the job. So, why not? Right.
At least for a few weeks.
Yeah. Well, let's see where it goes. Let's see where things go. Let's see where me go with her. If things don't come out, right. If things don't happen, if things aren't working, if there is nothing that is being offered to me at this position, in any position, I'm going to have to leave.
Now, the thing is, people always say, I don't really like the expression. It seems kind of vulgar, but don't shit where you eat. In that context. Now, if something did happen, would you then try to proceed to either one of you leaving the establishment to forego that?
Wait, what?
People say you shouldn't date within your work environment.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So you're saying if things go wrong, would I stay?
No, I'm saying if you find a connection, would you try to quit or make her quit? Well, not make her quit,
more
but
inclined to tell her to quit if I had to choose one. I don't. Well, I can see what you're saying. It's you kind of want the other person to quit at that point. You really don't want to be working at the same place. It's not great, well, first of all, you don't want to be spending every waking hour with this person at that point. If you're actually going to be in something committed, right? If it's not just like a fling kind of thing, you want to keep things interesting. You want to make sure, you're not getting bored of each other and not feeling like things are like, too close. So, well, I could say maybe try to convince her first. And if that doesn't work, because I don't know if I'd give like instructions. I don't know if I'd say that much. It depends how deep things are. But, at that point,
a contract.
Right. Well, I don't know. If things are deep enough, then I'd probably just say, okay, well, I think you should just quit and, focus on something else. But if not, maybe I'll just find a new job, honestly.
I think it also depends on how invested you are in the job as well.
That's true. That is true.
Because the pretext was you were thinking about quitting too. So.
Yeah. I mean, just get things done and then quit anyway.
Yeah, it's a win-win, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So if he was really that interested, just date the girl, leave, and then you can stay with her. It doesn't matter. You don't got to live there to date with each other. It's not like a school.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I moved schools. I can't be with that girl anymore. That's not how things work in the real world. We have cars.
Especially if it's like in the same city.
Right. Now,
if it's not in the same city,
states,
then
yeah, no, that's not going to work.
No.
It's not going to work.
I don't know why people think that works.
Because they're gay.
Wow. Now, question: if you're in a relationship, let's say it's like let's take the elephant in the room out of the equation. Let's say it's college, right? And then she transfers or you transfer to another college in another state, and let's say it's like not like right next to your state or anything. Let's say it's like a distance between like California and like Texas or something like that. Do you become gay now if you decide to keep the relationship going?
I think a little bit. At least a
So
little
you're saying
bit.
you should, once she decides to leave, you got to cut it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about transferring to another state just to go to school, then yeah.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. So I guess we kind of went over the jobs that, I mean, if anything, we're not talking about least likely, but I guess we're less likely. And then which ones were actually worse than those? I mean, do we want to talk about like best, if anything, and wrap it up with that? Like
I was going to ask
optimal?
which country you'd go to
Oh, which country?
as
I guess.
well.
I mean,
Because you kind of implied Argentina, but I don't know if
things
that
get
was like,
better, if the economy gets better,
is it like bad right now? I'm not aware of.
Okay, so basically, inflation's terrible, and I think what happened was that Malay was saying that they ought to I think this is what the state of Argentina actually did with him supporting it, was saying that like they're cutting like the money supply in half or something like that. It was, or cutting the value of it in half, something along those lines. Basically, because it cannot support itself any longer, so they had to take this action, I guess, or something like that. I need to look up exactly what it was, but point being, they were saying things are going to get worse before they get better. And so right now would probably not be the best time to go to Argentina. I mean,
so is it like accelerating it?
Actually, technically, you have USD.
Yeah.
And it's valued there.
I do have
and
USD.
Their economy is getting worse. I'd say buy at the dip. Go at the worst time possible for them, at the best time possible for you. Extort the fact that these people are going through economic turmoil. Spend your money there. And if anything, buy some property or something with it. Make some money,
I will be doing some calculations once we finish this.
If anything, start going to countries where the property is just cheap as hell and start buying it there.
It's like basically everywhere except here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Go, find the cheapest place, find the cheapest place to buy some property and then just buy it. And then you own property.
Yeah. The issue of like Europe, though, is that sometimes the state just kind of takes property and stuff like that in like really opportune areas. So South America is probably your best bet.
Well, there you go. Just don't do it in Europe.
Yeah. All right. So you wanted to go for the best then?
Yeah. Well, I guess, I mean, honestly, like if you can find something, I mean, it's like everybody wants to be doing something on the side or like something that they don't actually have to go in for. I mean, if you can find a remote job, that's probably your best bet. If you find some sort of remote job where you can apply your skills, it doesn't even have to be like entrepreneur or freelance stuff. Like literally just be able to work at home on your computer.
I was going to do that for a while.
Like doing something in particular, or
yeah, I was going to be like a writer.
Oh,
was it
like for hire?
Freelance? No, it's freelance. You basically they just like threw a bunch of stuff at you of like people that wanted people that write, and I just didn't like any of the stuff that I was sent, so I just didn't.
Was this one of those sites where it's like like a kind of Upwork kind of thing?
Yeah,
I might do a writer. Honestly, that doesn't sound like bad income.
I'm very picky about what I do and don't write about.
Now, I actually looked into some of that before. I remember somebody was saying like write articles about animals.
Animals?
Yeah, it's like just start writing about the animals, like do research and write about them, like their facts and all that.
What was this, 3rd grade?
I don't know. It's probably like one of these things, because what I've seen is that there was somebody who did like an animal video shorts on YouTube and would like do a bunch of different shorts about animals to get like, attention, like, that would be their niche. So I feel like this blog kind of thing that was being promoted would almost be that, like trying to get money just by the people that are looking stuff up about animals, clicking the link and then seeing the ads on your page. would essentially start getting like, you more and more money, because that's essentially how you would best, other than getting people to pay for the content, monetize a blog. So, I mean, I would assume, that would be some sort of like decent, at least decent enough online income for this person to be paying. But I think it was like 1 to 2 cents a word.
Oh, that's kind of great.
I mean, I think there was a cap on how many words you can write.
Oh,
it's like 500 to 1,000 per article. And then it was like 1 cent or 2 cents a word. So it's like, you're only getting like, $5, maybe $10.
Yeah.
Per article that you're writing, and you're writing that article and researching it. And if you're starting out and you want something to get like a portfolio for that you could show other people, I suppose it's an all right startup gig, but it's like you're only getting like $5, maybe, let's say, for at least an hour of work, right?
Depending on how you do your writing. Yeah. I usually finish papers and stuff like that when I was doing like for school in like a day or two, depending on how long it was. So like total time, it would be, if I had to research anything, like maybe 5 hours. If I didn't and I kind of just went with it, like maybe an hour or two.
But see, this is only like a 500 to 1,000 word or something. Maybe a little bit. Well, I guess, I don't know. I mean,
that's like, an hour.
Yeah, it's like 1 to 4 pages, or actually no, like 2, maybe 4.
Depending on if it's double spaced or not.
Yeah, somewhere around there. A double spaced page that's 1,000 words would be like 4 pages.
Yeah.
So just that, I guess that puts it into reference for people's minds. I don't know. You got any good jobs?
If you can find a way to make passive income with minimal effort, that's the way to go, to put it very general.
Anybody would do that. Anybody would do that.
Right. But you'd be surprised how many people don't even know that, don't even try to do it, or don't even know where to start doing it.
I'm kind of in the latter camp. I'm not exactly sure kind of, I know some opportunities, it's just they take so long to actually build up.
Like this?
Yeah. Like this. Once you start getting a viewership, then you can start selling like merch and all that. And that's actually the best passive income. Like when you actually start selling people stuff other than just like them watching the videos.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they have to be invested to the point where they're at least like a certain amount of them are spending money on something other than just literally the time that they are watching your content for. Like it would be some sort of subscription, or it would be some sort of merch. It would be some sort of other product that you were selling. And that's pretty much how content creators sustain themselves, to the point where they can actually have a like massive company supporting them, or like these abilities to like go wherever they want, whenever they want, like have this level of agency.
I think I've always been of the opinion that like media like this is not something you should focus in on exclusively. You should have like 3 other things in the background too.
I suppose. I mean, you do have to have different ways of making your money passively, at least at first, if there's not one that stands out. But if there is one that's gaining you a lot of traction, I would say, start investing more in that specifically, and maybe not even care as much about the other 2.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The other basically just become an entrepreneur. That's kind of like the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
Assuming the issue is it has very high potential, but it also has very low potential as well. So it's a gamble.
Like high risk,
it really
high
depends
reward.
on how you play it. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, I mean, I think that that about wraps it up, honestly.
Yeah.
Next week, what are we looking forward to here?
I don't know. We didn't even have a topic for this one.
We'll find out. Well, hey, we had a great topic for this one. Testicles.
Yeah. Do you want to talk more about testicles?
Eventually. Maybe next week. Maybe in a few weeks. I think the testicles have to wait a few weeks on that. Next year. Well, technically this year on the show. But by the time this episode comes out, it will be this year.
There's a chance it might be just before the new year.
2024. Look for testicles. There you go. That's it. That's all you need. Look out, because the testicles are coming, and they're coming hard.
They're I mean, they are.
All right.
All right.
Well, this has been the podcast ever.
With your host, Gorgory, or Gregory, if you prefer.
And Ahmed, aka Michael Obama.
Keep it kosher, Michael. All right. Check out the next episode or watch the other ones if you're new to this. Or buy the merch if we have it by now. I don't even know. Yeah. Anyway, give
We'll
us
sell
money.
mugs.
Yeah, mugs. We'll sell mugs. Or something. Maybe we'll. Yeah, anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. Bye.